Ready to start this?
Ready as yes.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Listography. Jason, Joe, and Krams are here. Songs of the year 1967, Summer of Love, a lot of psychedelia happening. A little too much, you could argue. But I don't know. I felt like it was a slightly weaker year than the two previous, but I think my list is stronger. So a little stronger at the top, thins out quickly after that. But what do you guys think?
The best yet for me. I love it. The best Beatles year ever. You got hard rock starting to pop up. The Doors, which Jason hates, probably why he doesn't like this year so much, because they were all over the place. I think it's great. Still good Motown. So it has everything I need, and this might be the best year ever, in my opinion.
No, it's not the best year ever, but it's great. But Joe's right. The versatility here is unreal. You get the hard rock, you get the psychedelia, you still got pop rock. Great year for the Beatles, great year for the Stones, great year for Nico putting out her own great album and appearing on Velvet Underground's. Oh yeah, big time, Joe. Get ready. I've got 8 of my 10 songs are Nico or Velvet Underground's. No, I'm kidding. Just relax. Yeah, I thought this was a great year. I did think it was a little I was surprised that there was less Billboard attention from rock. It was almost like this is the year the public was kind of like freaking out because of the Summer of Love, and the silent majority was not digging all of the drugs and everything. I thought there would be way more like stuff off Sergeant Pepper and all of that stuff to get in there, but I still got 5 classics on my Billboard, 5 classics deep cuts. Yeah, I'm ready to go. Liking it.
Right. Who wants to start? Joe, you want to go first? Hot 100 first. So
Please go first. Someone else go first.
I'll remind people of the rules again before we get started. Anyone that's new, we do 5 picks that have to come from the Hot 100. Could be any week during the year. It doesn't have to be the end of the year list. If it was number 100 for 1 week, it's eligible. Then we do a second list of 5 songs that is wild cards. Those tracks can come from anywhere. They can be charting songs as well, or they could be deep cuts, B-sides, soundtracks, whatever. One of our lists will be 1 song short because we save our song of the year for the end of the video. And before we do that, we also give you our pick for our least favorite top 40 song of the year. So, Cram, I guess you go first.
Billboard, I'm only giving you 4 because my song of the year charted. But here's what I got. Song we've mentioned a lot on the channel that Joe might also have, by The Who, I Can See for Miles. Yeah, well done. Very Phil Collins of you. This will play into our side 3 next week, everybody. Yeah, I think it's just a really awesome, raucous, just aggressive, kind of dirty song about, like kind of feeling like you catch your lover or whatever like cheating on you because you're just that damn good, like the Taj Mahal and the Eiffel Tower, you can see it through a haze, all of that stuff. It's got just really cool rhythm, as all the early Entwistle Moon sort of rhythm section does, and Paul McCartney loved it so much that they say Helter Skelter was kind of born out of that admiration, which is pretty cool. I've also got, in a year of all the rock stuff that I love, I'm gonna make Joe really happy and go with Higher and Higher by Jackie Wilson. Really adore it. I think it's just catchy as hell. It's infectiously positive and makes you smile, and it's got those little like vocal punctuations that I love. Also going with one of my favorite uses of organ in a song. I'm going with A Whiter Shade of Pale by Procol Harum. Really cool just vibe to this song. It's got just a really nice kind of summery sunsetting feel. I think it's just a beautiful song. And then I'm also going to go with Scott McKenzie, San Francisco. I think it captures the times really well. It's really pretty. His vocals, I wish he would have taken off more. I'm sure some of his deep cuts are great. I don't really know anything except this song, to be honest, of Scott McKenzie, but I think he's got a tremendous voice. Really a shame that he couldn't be like the lead singer of Bad Company or someone much better than Paul Rodgers. But I think it's a great song. I think those little bells or glockenspiel or whatever it is are just a perfect little accent on it, and it's just a great song. But my winner is a Billboarder, so that'll come later.
Okay, very nice, very nice. I have two in common with Mr. Kramzer. We seem to be pretty in sync on these 60s stuff so far. I'm going to do five. My winner is going to come from my personal picks. My five billboards are with Kramzer on this one, A Wider Shade of Pale by Procol Harum. It's like a melding of Bach and rock, which, I mean, I love Bach, so that works for me. Really kind of early prog rocky. You can definitely hear the influence that it would have. Number four, I got the Four Tops coming back for Bernadette. Levi Stubbs, he sings like the fate of like the entire world is on the line with Bernadette. Like, it's just so over the top, amazing performance from him. I think this is the last album that Dozier Holland did for Motown. After this, there was a money dispute, so maybe the last classic Dozier Holland for Motown. Great song. Number three, I'm gonna go Ain't No Mountain High Enough, the duet between Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell. Just one of the most joyful recordings ever. It has so much chemistry, even though like they weren't even recording it together. They were in totally different times and places, but it just works so well. Such a great song. And yeah, they just sing the hell out of it. Number two, I'm going to do the Beatles. They haven't been mentioned yet somehow. My third favorite Beatles song, I think, whatever, it's one of the greats. Strawberry Fields Forever. I think it's the pinnacle of John Lennon's writing. I love their psychedelic stuff, probably the most. Between that and Paul McCartney's kind of poppy, buoyant stuff that he was doing, this is definitely my favorite year of the Beatles. The orchestration is great. The drumming is amazing on this. And I love the way the music drops out. It's just John and the kind of sparse orchestration until the drums kick in. It's a really cool, unique song. Only the Beatles could really pull something like that off. Well, number one, another one in common with Cram, I got I Can See for Miles. I think on this track, Keith Moon becomes the greatest rock drummer in the world. I was listening to this all day, just focusing in on the drums, and it's just incredible what he was doing, just all over the place. It's like they shot fireworks off in a drum booth or something. It's just nuts what he's doing. I love the malice of the vocals. Like, I think Kramzer kind of said it great when he said, like catching a lover, doing something bad because you're just like the best, like you're the man. And it really just great vocals. I love how pretty the harmonies are as well. So it's like this kind of cool duality. And then Townsend's bends, just a like real simple, but incredibly heavy. Just maybe the heaviest song that had been written, in the rock world to this point. Really love it. I like it even more now than I did before we started doing this series. And it almost popped to number one overall, but it's going to be just a tiny bit behind my top personal pick. But it's so good.
Yeah, the line when he says, "Here's a poke at you, and you can choke on it too." Like, what a badass line. Oof, Pete.
I gotta say, it's a little Dylan-esque even. A little, I can see kind of the Venom, maybe like Positively 4th Street kind of carrying over.
All right. I get to my Hot 100 picks now. I feel like we're I'm a little separated from you guys in this year. I think I lean heavier to the pop stuff than you guys. I got a couple honorable mentions, just the ones that just missed my last cuts before I finalized my list. On a Carousel by the Hollies. Judy in Disguise with Glasses by John Fred. Awesome tune. Just missing my favorite Rolling Stones song, She's a Rainbow, comes just short. My official picks are going to be Happy Together by the Turtles. Number one single, incredible vocals. I think the arrangement on it is incredible. I think the drumming on it is super underrated. The guitar works good. I love it. Great song. Also got The Rain, The Park, and Other Things by the Cowsills. Just so infectious, so cheerful, and brilliantly used in the Dumb and Dumber movie, Lloyd's fantasy scene. Really funny, but also, all the backing vocals, the I know, it's all so good. I've got Carrie Ann by the Hollies, recorded at Abbey Road Studios. One of, if not the very first use of a steel drum in a pop song, supposedly is a tribute to Marianne Faithfull, but they changed it to Carrie Ann. I've got Never My Love by The Association, which I think is just a killer tune. This is one of the Wrecking Crew songs. A bunch of the Wrecking Crew plays on this. Hal Blaine, Joe Osborne, great key work from Larry Knechtel. Really, really good vocal arrangement too. Love the really kind of like, it's like a really sunny poppy song, but you got like this bluesy electric piano playing all these really cool licks in between all the vocal lines. I think it's great. My last one from my Hot 100 is going to be Massachusetts by the Bee Gees. Robin Gibb on lead vocals. It's the first one of their 5 UK number ones. It only went to number 11 in the US. Apparently wrote it for the Seekers. I think it's a great song. I think Robin Gibb is my favorite singer in the Bee Gees. I love the orchestral arrangements. There's another song with glockenspiel, a lot of glockenspiel happening in 67. And they said it's an anti-flower power song. It's kind of about people moving away from Massachusetts towards San Francisco. Hence the line, the lights went out in Massachusetts because everyone was leaving.
I didn't expect Bee Gees to make a list in 67 with all this glorious rock and roll happening. Jason is just so out of touch. It's insane.
You guys are out of touch. Early Bee Gees stuff is so good.
Definitely not better than the songs me and Joe picked. Come on.
I will give you credit for The Association though, because that song does rule, but it's only my 35th favorite song of this year. As good as it is, it's a 5-star song, but there's just so many good songs this year. I mean, come on.
I'm not going to play the honorable mention game too much because these videos will end up being just 2 hours long eventually, especially when we get into the 70s. However, She's a Rainbow did just miss my deep cut picks. So I'll give you that. Well done. Here's what I got for my deep cuts. Speaking of the glockenspiel, I'll put this song on here, which has a little bit of glockenspiel and some ridiculously innovative guitar for the times. Going with Little Wing by Jimi Hendrix. Ridiculous feel in the playing. Cool song about like Fantastical Angel. And we'll never stop talking about Mitch Mitchell being the most underrated drummer ever because he's in Jimmy's shadow. It makes sense. It's Jimmy. But Mitch is just destroying the drums here. I've also got, from my album of the year winner, I've got Fire by Jimi Hendrix, which is just an amazing upbeat rock song. So fast, so hard, so heavy. Drums are killer. The solo is unreal. I almost went with She's a Rainbow, but instead I'm going with 2000 Light Years from Home by the Rolling Stones. A really creepy, devilish, moody, and psychedelic kind of deal. You've got like those really high, almost like childish harmonies in the chorus when he says, "It's over." It's very creepy. I love it. It's great. I've also got The Fairest of the Seasons by Nico from Chelsea Girl. Really awesome, like Baroque folk pop, pretty little guitar part, distinct, cool voice she's got, and the strings are so sweet. Jackson Browne wrote it. Very interesting. And finally, I've got my favorite version of Lennon here with A Day in the Life by the Beatles, my favorite Beatles song. One song that I almost got on my deep cuts that I never really used to like, but I've really liked a lot lately, just fluttering through the Beatles, is Baby You're a Rich Man. But that didn't quite make it. Had to go with A Day in the Life for so many reasons. I mean, it's just fantastical. The piano part and the composition are great. The lyrics are great. The swirling storm and then the complete break. And then you get into the jauntier, upbeat piano bouncy part. It's wonderful. It's going to be hard. So many songs to leave off here. Didn't get any Doors in there, although the majority of my favorite Doors stuff does not show up on the Doors. Or my favorite songs of the Doors don't show up on the Doors debut. They're on different albums, even though the debut is my favorite album. So interesting dynamic there. But yeah, that's what I've got. Fire, Little Wing, Fairest of the Seasons, 2,000 Light Years from Home, and A Day in the Life.
Well, no matter what we pick, there's so many good songs. People are going to be like, well, I can't believe you left this off. So just a couple honorable mentions. Everything else by the Beatles that I didn't mention on Mystery Tour and Sgt. Pepper, because there's like 10 songs I would say are like all nearly perfect. And at one point in my life, I probably could have just made like the entire list from the Beatles songs, but I didn't. And gosh, there's so many ones that I had to leave off that I consider just like perfect songs. I'll just give a shout out to Respect by Aretha Franklin and Paper Sun by Traffic. And that's it. Those are my honorable mentions. All right, my personal five. I'm going to go with one of the pinnacles of the psychedelic movement, White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane. I love the marching drums. It's weird, like you wouldn't expect that in a psychedelic song, but it works like so well as like a counterpoint to like the really spacey Alice in Wonderland vocals. And Grace Slick is just an amazing singer, so it's going to make my list. Jason's favorite band, I had to get them on here once, The Doors, Back Door Man. It's a cover in spirit, the same way Led Zeppelin covered a bunch of blues songs. But it's my favorite Doors song. I think it's just really amazing. The dichotomy between like the circus kind of fun organ and piano, and like the crazy, like sexual, like maniacal lyrics and delivery from Jim Morrison. I think it's just like really kind of cool, very unique, very heavy. Number 3 was actually a number 1 hit in 1970 somehow. This is one of those weird like little things about pop music. It wasn't a single off the album, and it was released 3 years later, and it went to number 1. So I'm going to do it this year, though. I got Tears of a Clown from Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. The music was written by Stevie Wonder. So a Stevie Wonder and Smokey Robinson track. Come on now. Obviously, that's going to be on my list. And I just love the control of his vibrato on his falsetto. Outrageous. Love it. And then my runner-up, one of the great songs of all time, Penny Lane, Paul McCartney's opus. I love the observational kind of weirdly psychedelic writing and lyrics. And then you have like that kind of jaunty, buoyant bass line, the best piccolo trumpet solo in rock history for sure. And it's kind of like romantic and childlike and also kind of psychedelic and weird at the same time. I think it's just perfect along with Strawberry Fields Forever. It was a double A side. Like that's just insane. Like it doesn't get any better than that. But it's only my runner up because this is just one of the greatest years in history. And I got to save somebody for number 1. Somebody great.
All right. My wild cards. I didn't even start yet.
I'm not rolling my eyes at you. I'm rolling them at Joe because he's going to
Okay,
pick Hey Joe because it's in his name.
Hmm.
It's somebody great. You're great. You're great. Wait, didn't you pick Hey Joe last year?
Yeah, I did. I shouldn't have, but I did. I committed to Hey Joe, one of my favorite songs of all time, and I made it a runner-up, but don't worry.
Man, Jason is insecure after the Alice in Chains reaction to him. Ooh.
I've got Without Her by Harry Nilsson. I think it's a perfect melody. Such a simple song, just bass in his voice to start out. Then you get some cello coming in, a little flute. You get some acoustic guitar near the end, but it's so sparse, but it still works so well. It's just so well sung. I think it's awesome. And then I got Beatles The Rest of the Way. Magical Mystery Tour. I always feel like this song gets a little overshadowed by some of the other Beatles tracks in 67, but I think it's really awesome. All the brass, the trumpets, so good. The way they kind of like accelerate the stabs that they're doing. And it's a fairly rocking track for them in 67, and the bass tone on it's really great. I think it's awesome. Tough to figure out what my favorite song on Sgt. Pepper is, but I think it's Lovely Rita, actually. Very infectious. I love the piano solo on it and the way he yells Rita right before the solo. according to George Martin, this would have been one of the two songs cut. This and When I'm 64 would have been left off had the Beatles not been pressured into releasing Penny Lane and Strawberry Fields as a single. So interesting to note that. Wouldn't have been my choice of a song to cut, but that's what he says. And then I got Penny Lane on my wildcard list. Like Joe said, phenomenal song. It's got one of my favorite bass lines of all time. Great melody. I think it's really uplifting. It's fun. It's, like Joe said, buoyant. And the piccolo trumpet solo is phenomenal. Some of McCartney's best writing, I think. I think it's great. And I will be saving my number one for in just a bit. But before that, we got to talk about some bad songs.
I had a bunch to choose from, but I'm going to continue my trend of picking songs that are not obviously terrible, but songs that are popular that I just flat out can't stand for one reason or another. And it's on Joe's list. Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no river wide enough. There's nothing objectively wrong with it, but I can't stand it. It is a channel changer for me. I think it's really just lame and annoying, and I don't know why. Probably has something to do with the fact from about 1994 to 2002, every feel-good family moment seen on TV or a movie would have this song either sung by the actors themselves, lip-synced, or just playing underneath. But yeah, I just don't like it. I think the analogy of the geography is lame. That doesn't do it for me. I don't know why. But I don't like it.
Yikes. Whew. I don't have anything to add to that. You've dug your own grave. My bottom song, the worst song, from one of the worst people ever. So this is a really easy one. I got Little Old Man, Uptight Everything's All Right by Bill Cosby. Made number 4. The music is completely just stolen from Uptight Everything's All Right by Stevie Wonder. And he just decided to parody this stupid story about there's elephants, and I don't know what the hell is going on in this, but it's ridiculous. And just clearly, I don't even understand why he would do it. Doesn't make any sense. Just steal a song, put in your own stupid lyrics. Even if I didn't hate Bill Cosby, I'd still think this is stupid. So very easy choice.
Stay tuned for Joe to praise Weird Al 20 years from now. So this is Bill Cosby influencing Weird Al, no doubt. No, it's not.
All right, my choice for the worst song of the year is kind of a weird one. It's called I Was Kaiser Bill's Batman by Whistling Jack Smith. And not exactly sure. People don't even really know who Whistling Jack Smith is. The song's entirely whistled. It's a kind of a silly, catchy melody. Either John O'Neill or Noel Walker did the whistling. It's totally gimmicky, really annoying. Made it to number 20. Not quite sure how that would happen, but it did.
Yeah, another song that's just how did it get this high in such a year of high quality is Let It All Hang Out by the Hombres, which I don't even, it's just the most boring. It sounds like it's just they have an album and this is one of the filler tracks because it's just slow plodding. It's got a little bit of a country blues riff and just a little bit of spitting in between. Somehow reached number 12. It's just so unusual to me. Man, what can you do? All right, it's time for the winners. Our favorite songs of 1967. This is a top 5 for me of all time, which we're on a pretty good run here, considering in 66 is the favorite of mine of all time. Ruby Tuesday by the Rolling Stones. Absolutely just beautiful. Hard to keep the tears in listening to this one. Lyrics are just tremendous. It's the really deep, reverberating cello or upright bass, whatever. Not upright bass. I guess it's a cello. Yeah, just really deep. You get the flute is just tremendous. It's got this mystical, romantic, lovely, woodsy kind of feel to it. The harmonies are tremendous too. There's some great live versions of it, but just the recording sounds so fantastic. The way everything sounds like it's just in like a really nice tight room, and it like every note has just like the perfect like longevity to it, and then it just kind of dies off. I don't know how the hell they did it. It's magnificent. It's a beautiful song. It's verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, done. No bridges, nothing fancy. Just a perfect piece of poetry with the perfect musical score to it. I love it. I think it's top 5 song for me, probably of all time. Spoiler alert, when we do get to Rolling Stones, it will be my favorite Stones song. But She's a Rainbow's up there too, and so is 2,000 Light Years from Home and 6,000 other Rolling Stones songs because they're awesome.
Definitely another great year for the Stones. Probably get overshadowed by Magical Mystery Tour and Sgt. Pepper a little bit in many people's minds, like Jason, our friend over there, and mine, even mine, I have to admit. But that's a great song, great choice. My choice might be a little better, just my opinion. I'm not trying to influence the people to vote for me and my better song, because I don't think anyone's going to beat Jason's Beatles pick, so it's going to be tough. If he picks the Beatles, I can't imagine him picking anything else though. My number one's going to be a little song you may have heard of. It's called Purple Haze from Jimi Hendrix. Just the guitar on this, it's 2,000 light years ahead of anyone else playing guitar. His use of chords, the way his distortion, the fuzz is turned up to 11. Just the little runs he does, the kind of Middle Eastern accents mixed with the blues, mixed with his awesome like chord choices that he would do. He just pushed the bar on everything that has to do with guitar, and it just sounds. It was really close between this and I Can See for Miles, and I just on the way home, I just cranked them up like as loud as they could get on the car stereo. And Purple Haze, man, just the louder it goes, the more you hear just the incredible stuff he was doing. And I just think he's awesome. It's psychedelic, it's hard rock, it's super heavy. The lyrics are cool, the singing is awesome, the vocals, like the kind of spacey psychedelic vocals in each ear is great. The drumming is phenomenal, of course. Bass playing is great. The experience was a little bit more than just Jimmy, and I think that's what kind of puts it over the top. Just a perfect 3-piece hard rock, blues, whatever. It's just miles ahead of anyone else. I think even like Clapton or any of the other great blues guys at the time. Hendrix just, he was better. He knew it. Everybody knew it. And Purple Haze will be my number 1. Second favorite Hendrix song behind Hey Joe, but I already used that one. But this is a very worthy winner as well. And now the Beatles.
Yeah, but I don't know. The way the voting has gone lately, I don't have a ton of confidence. I think our audience might lean towards heavy guitar and go Hendrix. But yeah, I got the Beatles winning. There's a couple songs that people probably would think would be contending here. But I already told you that Lovely Rita is my favorite song on Sgt. Pepper. So that leaves, if you saw our top 10 Beatles songs, that was my number 1. Strawberry Fields Forever. It's just a masterpiece, I think. They spent 45 hours recording 3 different versions of it that were all completely different. The final version has parts of 2 of those versions spliced together. They're completely different speeds and tempos. All kinds of cool stuff happening in the song. There's mellotron, tape loops, cellos, brass, some of Ringo's best drumming. The drum fills in this song are just otherworldly, so great. It's amazing. My favorite song by my favorite band, so might be my second favorite song ever behind God Only Knows. Not quite sure, but definitely a contender.
Yeah, I assumed it was going to be that one since it won the Beatles, and obviously this is the year of the Beatles. I didn't think anything else could even come close, so not unexpected. A little surprised at Kramzer's pick. I didn't realize that was his favorite Stones song, but I'm not saying it's bad or anything. I didn't know that. I learned something new today.
I think it's worth pointing out that we had No Dylan, no Beach Boys on any lists this year.
John Wesley Harding, what can you do? It's not going to compete with this stuff.
I know there's people that would dispute that, but no, I agree with that. My 19th favorite Bob Dylan album, if you've seen that listography. But there's going to be more Dylan to come in the years ahead, for me at least.
I almost had My Back Pages by the Byrds on my list because it's almost Dylan.
Should we reveal that the Byrds are going to be coming up on a listography soon? Listen to the...
Speaking of, yeah, great segue.
What, 3 weeks away or something like that?
Let's just give the schedule we got.
All right, so we've got Phil Collins coming up next week. Then we got Just Me and Cram doing TV on the radio the week after that. Then we're going into a round of personal picks. Cram has selected Eurythmics. Joe has selected the Byrds. And I have selected Three Dog Night. So that's the next 5 weeks for you. So you can get listening, get ahead on stuff, make your lists, get them all prepared. And of course, leave your 67 lists down in the comments. Be sure to let us know what you think of our lists. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed yet, hit the bell for notifications, and check the description for links to all of our social media accounts. We got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, as well as our website. And that is especially important in these Songs of the Year videos because you can head over there to vote on which of our Song of the Years is your favorite. We got a little competition going. I think I'm in the lead by like a half point right now. Is that right? So go vote for Strawberry Fields Forever. And there's going to be playlists as well. All of our picks from the entirety of our lists. We've got one running that will grow every week with our winners, as well as a playlist of our least favorite songs.
Actually, yeah. Vote for Jason because once we get into the 70s, he doesn't. When me and Joe are picking some of your favorite songs of all time, and Jason's like, you should hear this B-side that just surfaced from Kiss. It's amazing. You're done, pal. We're gonna sweep you away.
Yeah, I don't expect to do well in the 70s. I need the help now. Get me ahead while there's still hope. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.